Hey everybody. So, opening your heart. This is this is more about emotionally opening one's heart. Energetically. Spiritually, soul. Opening you. Your heart chakra, your heart energy, your love. To the world and to other people. I gotta say, I've said this before. I'm gonna say it again. This right now, like where I'm at, is very. It feels very peculiar to me. I'm not used to being like this. I'm just not used to this perceptional state that I'm in. I'm not used. I'm used to being fucked up all the time. It is what it is. When I say fucked up, just not like I can't walk or do anything. I'm just used to having heavy herbs and lots of them in me throughout my day, all through the day. Or alcohol or something like that. The past 5 years, it's been a lot of kratom, and the past year, I've introduced in a lot of kava kava too. So this is very new to me. Since I've been getting off of this stuff, like opening my heart, trying to find, a good, just loving other people, loving myself first, just the whole 9 yards. I'm aware of opening your heart. I do know that is very familiar to me, and there's times when I feel like my heart is very open. It may be for a couple hours a day, but most of the time in my day, um, I don't know. I spend a lot of time reanalyzing, reevaluating, and weighing thoughts and deeds and actions that I do to make sure that I've done the best thing that I can, and to make sure that I'm not, like once you start becoming more righteous or whatever you want to call it, good, healthy, clean, whatever it is to you, like that builds up momentum and you continue to want to do it. I to the point where you start second guessing yourself, like, did I do that right? Did I do that right? Should I have done this? Should I have done this? What's the right thing to do? I really start getting manic, with wanting to just do everything as right as I can be, which is good because it motivates me to continue to want to do more in a good way. But it can also stress you out. It can also leave you feeling like there's always something to do. If the whole world's full of problems, so it's like it can be exhausting. Like when you have that mentality and you realize you live in a world that's full of nothing but problems, especially if you're living in a household full of problems, like those problems just become that much more. I don't know about evident, but when you have that, then you're just like, oh, that's just so much work. And then you're there and you want to do it, but then you start getting tired, and then you start getting frustrated because other people in your household aren't doing it. And that's kind of what happened today. And then after I got done doing my work in my room, in my area, then I went and checked out online. I just didn't see much of. I know, like I said, there seems to be a little bit of a strong depressing type feeling over this area, and from what I gathered on the internet too. So I get that there's could be something going on, maybe some extra spells or just whatever. It's that period of our rotation in the cosmos. I don't know. Um, but even still, we can still. It's oftentimes when things are down like this. This is when we really need to stand up. This is when the devil's trying, whatever you want to call it, the opposing forces are trying to keep us from persevering, from continuing on. And it's in these times when things are pushing on us that we can grow the most. Or when I say the most, like your rate of growth will quicken and hasten when you choose to grow, when you accept the challenges and you embrace the moment when they're hard like this. If things aren't going very hard, you ain't going to grow very much. It's common physics. If you go to a weight room and you're lifting just a pound weight, you're not going to gain much muscle. But if you lift a 25-pound weight, a 40-pound weight, you're going to gain more muscle. So it's just the same thing goes with energy. Days when things are heavier, you have a chance to grow a lot more and get a lot stronger, to be honest. And when things are lighter, yeah, it's going to be pleasant outside, but you're not going to grow very much. So as miserable as things can be, and today does feel like there's been a decent amount of misery, it's also good to know that there is an opportunity, and there is always something that can be had out of anything that you're going through. So you know, it's, you can either allow this miserable day to become more miserable, and you can do even less and become more depressed and just wish for it to be over and wait for tomorrow to come around and hope that it's better. Or we can try to change things and raise the vibrations and do some good in this world and stand up for the people that really need help. Because as bad as things may feel here in America, we still ain't starving to death, okay? A lot of us still ain't disabled and decrepitly ill and full of all sorts of ailments. So there's really not a whole lot of good reasons for us to be too down, myself included, because I still get down as fuck. I'm not going to say I don't, because I do. But that's why I try to redirect my energy to things that are really mattering. And like, it isn't this little shit going on with me ain't nothing compared to some bigger things that are going on in the world. And the more that we focus on those bigger things, the more the whole world's going to get better, and the more we're going to get better as individuals. And on top of that, if I can get this movement going, I'd like it. I want to say we, but it feels weird saying we since I'm still the only one. I mean, me and Pops, so I guess there is a we. Once we get this movement going, it's going to bring us together. And I think that's the real miracle. I mean, I say miracle, it is going to be. I think people have forgotten how much power there is in social interactions. Like, there's a huge amount of, that's a bad terminology, bad word choice, but it's hard to really appreciate the value of human interactions until you're just there in the moment. Like, we forget how powerful it is to be around people doing things that we like to do and that are positive and fun and loving. You know, I did. I know. And when I got reminded when I went on that little vacation to go see my dad's army buddies' friends while they were moving to Bend. You know, they were a bunch of spiritual families. They're all very positive, very loving, very healthy people. And I had the privilege of being in their company. And I was like, wow, this is like, they were all getting along. They all had their routines and they were talking and being lovely and jovial. And I was just there, you know, like I said, it felt like a privilege because I was just there able to absorb all that wonderful energy. And I was in kind of a shitty mood, like not shitty, but I was down. I was in a very depressed state. So I had been for a long time. So for me to be around that was extremely invigorating. I was a little uncomfortable because I was like, whoa, I'm in a different place than they are, but it was good for me, you know, and I don't think it bothered them. I think that they saw that I was hurting, and that's why a few of them really tried to make attempts to come over to me and talk to me and see how I was doing and, share some love. And I felt it. And I came back. I mean, it was after that experience that I started making videos again, and that I started, working on getting off the drugs more and more sternly. I mean, that really was a transformative experience, was going there and meeting those people and talking with them and just seeing. And again, it had to do largely with just being around human beings, but they were also good human beings. They're also very high vibrational human beings because they're doing good things. So that makes an impact too. If I was around a bunch of depressed people, that's not going to help me out very much, especially if I'm already depressed. So my point is, if us higher vibrational beings or people with higher vibrational desires and true, yearnings for that type of a lifestyle can figure out a way to come together and get some good work done that can help ourselves out and the whole earth and starving children in Africa out, that's just more the better for everybody all around. And all of our lives will get better. Less is more. We don't need all this shit. All this stuff really weighs you down. I've lived with more than I need my whole life. I've been to Europe. I've been on vacations. My parents have always had plenty of money to buy us whatever we want. It doesn't make you happy. Take my word for it. It does not make you happy. Having love in your heart, doing things that you really love to do, being around people that you really love and who really love you, that's what makes you happy. And that's what the opposition is wanting to take away from us. And that's what this society, where it's going, is away from that. So if that's what you guys want, keep paying attention to this society. But if you want the home, if you want the family, if you want the tribe, if you want the real logos, you're going to have to stop paying attention to society the way that we have been. We have to start building a new one. That's my opinion. So, yeah. All right. Well, I love you guys. Hope you all have a good day. Bye.